Good morning, all. I love how as soon as we joined, my dog barked. She wants to do the intro today, Lawrence.
Yeah,
Welcome to the Daily Whatever Show from me and from Kira. I am Dana Dubois.
I'm Lawrence Winterman,
That's my
fucking with
best
my
friend.
camera. That's my best friend.
It is so good to see you this morning.
It feels like forever.
Yeah.
Yesterday on Not Straightforward, I asked Aiden and Ben how their weekend was. And Dana, how was your weekend? Did you start any wars of aggression over the weekend?
Um, no.
Yeah,
I'm
me
trying to think of
neither.
something clever to say. The only war going on with me is the war my lungs are having with my body at the
Ooh,
moment.
ouch.
Yeah, I mean, war might be a little strong, but there's an internal conflict going on here. There's a virus in there, is what I mean. So
I'm sorry.
it's okay. I have my usual double T's here, and they're actually keeping me from like doing this the entire show.
Doing that thing?
Yes, I am very frustrated with my dog. Her behavior is getting worse and worse, and the fact that I just keep rewarding it by giving her treats might not be helping matters, but
Yeah, time
other
for
than that, no
training.
wars. Did you start any international conflicts?
Uh,
What did they call it? They didn't call it a war. They called it like extreme combat action or
Right, right. Yes, an
yes,
extreme combat action that Trump himself in his announcement at 1:30 a.m. on very early Saturday morning that he
on Truth
referred to as a
Social.
war, but no big whoop. It's just the president calling it a war right off the bat.
Um,
Um, yeah, which it clearly is, right? Like we
yeah.
have entered a period, we've been in a period for a long time where executives can take action without Congress, and it ends up being a war in everything but official proclamation. And we have
Yes.
entered another one of those. This should officially be Trump's Iran war. That's just what we should call it. He owns it, lock, stock, and barrel.
Yes.
And it's
I
obviously a war with Iran. So why make it complicated?
yeah. Um, right. You know me, word nerd that I am, like language matters.
Right.
The fact that he called it a war, it is a war. So the way that the convolutions that are happening now, it's so clear to me, and I hope to a lot of people that like nobody knew what the fuck they were doing. This was like as rash a decision as his like toilet tweets at 3 in the morning. The thing that really sealed this for me, Lawrence, is I saw a headline today in Business Insider right when I first woke up, and I quickly posted about it. They've abandoned Americans all over the fucking world. They've
Yep.
told them today, like my voice is cracking with emotion and cold. They told them today that they need like mandatory evacuation, get out. We can't help you find a commercial fucking flight. We're at war.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
there
It.
were ever proof that, first of all, that they don't give a shit about
Yes.
us being Americans, and second of all, that they had like left hand did not know what right hand was doing, and that this was either a wildly rash decision or at least an unplanned, unproject managed, uncommunicated one. That was all the proof I needed.
Yeah.
I just want to like underline an exclamation point as loud as possible of like, we've abandoned Americans worldwide to this war that they're not calling. This is what happens when leadership isn't mindful, when we don't have our mechanisms in place around the executive branch versus the congressional branch, that if we don't slow down, Lawrence, which I'm getting to my hinge, my pivot in a second, if we're not mindful about the actions, if we're just going to move quick and break shit like the tech bros,
Yeah.
we're going to make mistakes that kill Americans. We are there. We already have.
Right.
Several have
We already
died,
have.
but service
I,
people like,
yeah,
but
6 American service people dead last time I heard, which was last night, and that is disgusting. It's further disgusting that I'm sure that Trump is not going to be at Dover to receive the bodies. I would be fucking shocked if he were.
oof,
And yeah, I that was a beautiful setup, by the way. You quoting my piece, my very first piece in
you're
The
welcome.
Hinge, which is thank you, thank you. It's like we planned it. Um,
We did not, to be clear, 30
right, we
seconds
did
before
not
going live.
plan it,
Lawrence and I were like,
but we know each other well enough. So Dana has launched her special project on the side, I Read Out Loud, which is excellent.
Excuse
And if
me.
you're not reading her stuff and listening to her lives, please go do that. And
Thank you.
I,
We
this
could,
morning, at
yeah.
the moment of the full bloodworm moon, launched my side project, which is
Cheers.
I'm not really calling it any specific thing. The Substack is still just lwinner.substack.com. I've named the Substack after me. It's Lawrence E. Winterman, but there are elements of the Substack that I'm calling the Hinge and the Near Field. And the Hinge is going to be a series of essays. Actually, there will be triptychs. There will be three writings paired together. The first two will be hinges. They will be trends in society or politics or tech or just the way that we are searching for meaning in a world that is accelerating and trying to kind of see around corners. So the first two essays in any triptych will be hinges, and the third essay is really going to be speculative fiction. It's going to be a short story set in the near future, impacted by both of those hinges. And so the first article is up. It is, as your segue was so eloquent to point out, it's about acceleration and how acceleration in decision making and acceleration in communication has really shifted, in part, uh, played a big role in shifting um, the power, the balance of power in our government away from Congress, which is meant to be a slow, deliberative body that has friction of opposing ideas, and kind of shift it into the hands of an executive who is supposed to be forceful and assertive and make big decisions. And kind of the alignment of that with the idolization of tech bros who are all about, move fast and break things and,
Yes,
ready, fire, aim, which is exactly entirely what is going on with this Iran war.
it is. And Lawrence, first of all, thank you for your work. It's beautiful. I read
Thank
it
you.
this morning, right after waking up, and um, but you had told me about it over the weekend, and I love this project. You referred to our things as our side projects, and I'm going to lightly correct and say, like, this is this is going to be your body of work.
Right.
This
Right.
is
It's
going to
why
be
we're
your
here.
legacy in this is why we're here on Substack. And I feel the same way about I Write Out Loud. I'm going to talk about my project another day. But what I will say is the me being me, the common narrative thread is that we are both pattern detectors and we both have an ability to integrate storytelling into up-leveling what's happening in the world around us. I just do it through memoir writing, but you do it through journalistic writing and speculative fiction. And um, one of the founding missions of my I Write Out Loud project is this audacity of putting creative energy into the world, right? Of creating and art. And it came through because we were on this show talking about like this regime has taken so much from us and pondering how, in addition to all of the like literal lives lost and just atrocities that are happening, it has also taken the music, the art, the writing, all of these things that make life worth living.
Yeah.
And so I Write Out Loud, when I launched it, was a audacious act in perilous political times to say words matter because creativity alone matters and art matters. And also, the art I make happens to connect the dots to these broader cultural, political ideas. I'm going to say all those same things are true for The Hinge, and that yours even puts a finer point on the political parts because the first two out of the three stories that you're telling within each hinge. Am I using the correct language there? Or
Yeah.
within
I
each
mean,
triptych,
it's evolving.
um, are literal news stories. Um, but there's a lot of news stories out there that are just like, this is what happened. You're connecting dots. And in today's, when I read it, and you were like, the tech bros have been telling us for years, break shit fast and iterate. And we're dealing with the consequences of that now. Like that can work in some industries pretty well. I get the move at the pace of business,
Right.
but when you're applying it now, not just to government systems, but to actual war, like where's the fucking grown up in the room with gravitas to say, actually, no, we're talking about killing people right now.
Right.
You can't just move fast. And look, there are times when there are aggressive things happening to us and we need to respond, but where was the act of aggression we needed to respond to? There was
Right.
not.
Other
There was,
other than Bibi Netanyahu apparently feeling an urgency towards attacking Iran and telling us
yeah,
that if we didn't do it with him, he was just going to go ahead and do it anyway. Fucking asshole.
right?
Um,
These are the like, I write a lot about dating and relationships. These are the worst fucking fathers in the world, and these are the worst fucking dates you've ever been on in your life. Those
oh my god,
abusive,
yeah.
narcissistic fucking monsters who you like run away from screaming,
Right.
running our
Right.
world.
Well,
If
it's
you
not
don't
going to
do
suck
it,
itself. I got to get off. Like either you're in or you're out.
that's exactly what happened. And he was like, "Well, I don't want my pee pee to be ignored.
Yeah.
I'll send my
Oh
pee
my
pee
god.
blades in."
Totally. Yeah.
That's what happened.
Um,
Also Epstein. I mean, also Epstein files and him
yeah,
being like,
exactly. Of course. Like
"Oh, are there
Ellie tweeted stacked yesterday, uh, or I think it was the day that everything started. You know, she was like, "Those must be the worst 53 pages of the entire Epstein files." And yeah, like we're
yes,
all thinking that it's got to be disastrously bad for him to so desperately need a distraction as
right.
big as a fucking war, an unplanned, uncoordinated. Um, hey, I have a quick programming note for
Yeah.
us. Our guest today was meant to be
Ah,
Fran Hong, who is running for governor of Wisconsin. Her current moniker is First Place Fran because in a very crowded primary field, she has started polling first. She's a Democratic socialist. She is currently in the legislature. She's one of four Democrats in the Wisconsin legislature that is part of a socialist caucus for Democrats in the Wisconsin ledge,
amazing.
and she's killing it, right? Like it's a really crowded primary field,
Amazing.
and she's currently polling at 11%, which is not gigantic, but it's more than anyone else in the field, including the current sitting lieutenant governor and some other big name
Yes.
people. So she's really, really getting her message out there. We're super excited to have her back at some point in the future when she's able to make it. It sounds like she has a family medical emergency going on. She just texted and said she's on the way to the ER. So, like,
Oh
prayers and thoughts for
no.
Fran and her kids and
Oh.
her family. And we're hoping that everything is okay. And
Mm.
you know, she knows that she's welcome back anytime. But we unexpectedly have a lot of time to talk about
Oh,
our
and this is
projects and to
yeah.
show a pretty photo at least, and you know, maybe take some questions from the audience or something.
Yeah. I'm Fran, if you were listening, I'm so sorry to hear this. I hope your family is okay. Those rushed trips to the emergency room, like I'm getting secondhand anxiety on your behalf.
For sure.
May the medical issues end up being minor and may your medical bills be not incapacitating. Because we're American. That is the prayer we need to send out.
Yeah.
So yes, we will bring, I hope we get to bring Fran back on very soon. Fran is also my mom's name, so saying it is like warm and fuzzy for me. So
Oh, hey, here's a funny thing.
yeah.
When I sent the email with the link for today, I sent it to an email that included Walter, who has graciously just jumped on backstage. Let's
Oh,
bring Walter into our convo.
Walter Ryan, you are always welcome here. In fact, Walter is the one who introduced us to
Yay!
Fran.
What is up, Walter?
Hi,
You
Walter.
guys. Well, I saw you guys say that, and I'm like, I was setting that thing up with Fran, and we were going to talk today anyway, and then I'm like, yeah, take my spot. Have Fran be on, please, please. And I was
Right?
just pushing it. I was just pushing this with my live prior to this, so I'm sorry. I'm being too loud, I guess,
No, no,
because
no, you're
Lawrence is
not.
like, oh no.
No, there's a dumb thing with my right ear where yeah, don't. It's not you, Walter. It's that It's not you.
Ah, it's
Oh
not
my
you, it's
gosh.
me.
It's a
Yeah,
dumb
I got it. I've
anatomical
heard
thing
that.
where my ear hole closes up if my headphone sits on it.
Ah,
Everyone in the chat is yelling Walter with
ah.
excitement.
Let me
Yes.
just say, I love you guys. I missed you guys. It's been a while since I've talked to you guys. I love you. I
It
want to be like
has.
just. I keep my 9 o'clock hour open, so a lot of times I'm just so busy, but I'll just jump
You
on
are
and
the
just.
and
I'll be the
Walter,
emergency guest.
you were on I want to say you were on TV yesterday. You were on radio yesterday. You got to hang out with Matt McNeil.
Yeah.
Um, I was so
Right.
effing swamped yesterday. I only caught a snippet of it, but tell us how it went. How was it?
Oh, I thought it went good. I was trying real hard. I hope I didn't swear. I don't think I swore. I was, I was trying to
They've
remember.
got the big bleep button there, so
Oh, okay, good. Beep, 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 beep. But I mean, there's so much going on. You kind of got to be swearing. I thought I did. I don't know that link is out there. I got to share the link again with my interview. But it was good to just jump on and get that message out there because we're just not where we need to be with our rage right now. We're just not
Yeah.
even close to where we need to be. And I've been telling people, what assurance do you have this president isn't going to bomb a U.S. city? He's already sent troops into U.S. cities. He's
Right.
already had his forces shoot people in the street. You know, they killed 152 little girls in Iran. They killed 110 some people in Venezuela. All he does is murder people. It's got to stop. And they're going to murder you. He's going to murder you. Do you think he's going to hesitate to nuke the world if it's between accountability and everybody dying?
You're absolutely right, Walter. My new fun game is asking everyone how their weekend was. Did you start a war of aggression over the weekend? I'm betting you didn't. Did you?
No, I ask people if they can show proof of U.S. citizenship. I'm like, can you prove it? Can you prove it? Because most people cannot. Most people do not carry the documents. So
I've got my passport, and
that would work.
I am not convinced that they are not beyond fucking up the records in the official State Department databases. Like, I could imagine a future where they go to scan my passport and they're like, we don't have a record of you being a citizen, Mr. Winterman, if that's your real name. Like,
we
know
who you are. We know who you are.
Right.
Yeah.
We know what you've written.
Yep.
We know
We've
what
got
you
a
say.
giant empty Amazon warehouse that we've turned into an ICE gulag detention facility, 2 counties over. Like,
no one can afford to buy anything anymore, so we just converted it.
Yeah.
Lawrence, before we get too far off, because we had a segue in there that we missed. You launched the Hinge.
Yeah.
Is it the Hinge or just it's the Hinge, right?
Honestly,
because Hinge is already something.
The Hinge is Hinge is already something. The Hinge is apparently free for me to take. I'm just calling it a section of the newsletter. So the idea is that the Hinge is going to be essays connecting the dots in politics and tech and whatnot, and the near field is the section of the blog that is the speculative fiction, like the near future scenarios based on the Hinge. So
it's a lot of names. I'm trying to, but either way, I love what you're doing. But here was the segue I don't want to miss. You launched your project last night on the blood moon.
Yes.
And we have something to share from Jason Odell, photographer extraordinaire. I don't want to miss it because I know once we pop off, look at this beautiful photo.
So this is the
just a moment of peace
eclipse over Pikes Peak. And honestly, you sent me this photo on phone and I couldn't really see it, and then you sent it to me in email and I opened it up and it literally made me gasp. I literally went because just that image of the moon in eclipse over Pikes Peak and the star, oh my God, it is fucking gorgeous. It is insane.
Jason's
Jason,
work
massive kudos to you. Like I want this is what my soul looks like right here.
It kind of is, Lawrence. This is like a very you color palette.
Yeah, it is. It really
and it's
is.
an astrological
moment
event.
Of a full eclipse.
Jason, we got this so quickly, like literally minutes before the live. He sent me this and I was like, oh my God, can we share it? Jason, will you please put the link to your story in the chat? Because you wrote a story about taking the photo where this is shared online and other folks can see it. But I'm doing my like Zen moment of like, the world is on fucking fire. We have every right to be outraged, enraged, all the anger things. But like, let's just take a moment and be like, sometimes nature gives us a show like this.
Right. And
And
sometimes brilliant photographers like Jason Odell are there to capture
yeah,
something that it's just it's it's this undefinable, ineffable moment of fleeting beauty, and the fact that he was able to capture it like this is just so special. It's really gorgeous.
yes. So thank you, Jason. And I know Jason is doing a lot of lives now. If you have, especially if you are interested in photography or you're a pro or you're wanting to ramp up, like go listen to his lives and learn. And I know he also like hosts he does travel tours specifically for photography. We've had him on the show before to talk about it. So if that interests you, if you have the leisure time to go travel to learn how to take better photos, you should absolutely go anywhere in the world with Jason to take photos. Because look at this.
Yeah.
Ah, so beautiful. Thank you. And I absolutely love, Lawrence, that you launched your new project as that was happening.
You know,
Two
I
beautiful things went in the world at the same time.
Yeah, speaking of things that weren't completely planned, this was really a moment of inspiration over the weekend. And then when I was trying to figure out, when I had time to write and finish the article and get the first one up, I was like, oh, I should push it live at the moment of the full moon. Because I'm astro woo woo like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just scheduled it to go live at 6:37 this morning, Eastern time, and voila.
Lawrence, it is your fault that anytime I apply for a job or start anything new at all, I have to go check the void of course moon calendar and make sure I'm not starting it during a void of course moon. So
You're
your woo is
welcome.
contagious, but I like it.
I keep looking forward to a day when we can just get together and do a writing project,
Wouldn't
talk.
it be
Like
nice?
this picture here, this one is my daughter's picture of the fairy from our fairy book that we do together. That's my background
So
there.
beautiful.
And it's just, I just want to share story. We should just get together and read like 10 minutes of our stories. I mean, wouldn't that be nice? Rather than talking about kids getting blown up and like the Constitution in flames. Let's just tell stories to each other. We should be doing that actually anyway, just to survive.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
Walter,
honest, I mean, it's back to,
yes.
the premise that Dana posited, like, we need art to survive, right? Like, we need art to survive through this moment. We're finally getting protest songs, some of us are finally getting our asses in gear and actually writing the things that we were meant to write, and Jason is taking beautiful photographs, like, we need all of this art. Oh my God, look at that.
My daughter gave me this for Christmas. She did a paper doll. That's the character from our fairy book too. She folded this doll. I mean, she just folded it.
Oh my
She
God.
gives me this, and I'm like, oh, like crying. It's like, that's the most beautiful thing. She's like, this was way harder. When I started making it, I'm like, yeah, it was. Like, make a doll for me. I'm like,
that is so cool. So yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah,
but
beautiful.
Let's since Walter, this was not entirely planned, I feel like we should talk a little about what's going on in Iran, and we should talk about Fran, right? Like I know we met her through you. Maybe let's start with Fran and then get into because I don't know, I feel like I need a little happiness for this moment.
Good idea.
We're
Good
really
idea.
excited about Fran's candidacy. Could you tell us what kind of drew you to her?
Well, honestly, I've just been, and you've been part of this project too, Lawrence. We just know that these progressive candidates that represent us, do not get covered by the legacy media. They are intentionally frozen out to the point where they don't, like, legacy media won't even publish like an interview of them speaking. Like, you go to the learn about the candidate pages on newspapers. This should be their job. And they just won't do it. Like, they don't want us to hear about any of these candidates. They control the narrative. And, we saw that the other day when Hakeem Jeffries was on, where they get so angry. He got so mad at Waj. Waj was asking reasonable questions, and Hakeem Jeffries just flipped out. And
wait, pause. I didn't know about this. Can you give I didn't see this live. Can you give some context about, Waj from the
who was he on with Reed too? Joy Reed, I think that was who it was. And Waj was just asking.
Hakeem Jeffries on. Okay.
Yes.
I just want to get all the context because I missed it, I'm sure.
Yep. Well, he just asked. He's like, "Are you taking AIPAC money, or will you not take AIPAC money?" And he just went off. He's just like, "Well, I get." And he was acting like we don't understand math. He's like, "My average donations are $27." And I was like, "Yeah, so you get a lot of people that give you a penny, and then you get the millions from AIPAC." It's like, we're not fools here. And he got all mad about this.
We get it.
Yeah, it's like, I know math, and he got really upset. And it's just say It's like, and we see it both on the Republicans never answer questions straight, but there's a lot of Democrats who don't answer a question straight. And so the difference is these new candidates, this new class of candidates willing to talk to me. And I've been reaching out to all of them. The first one I met was Laura Benjamin at the cultural fair, in the nearby city. She was just there talking to people. I'm like, hey, I got this Substack podcast. You can reach 20,000 people in the convenience. Why would any politician pass on that? They can just chat with me real quick. They can reach a bunch of people. Maybe they'll get a few more donors. Our Democratic establishment is afraid to talk to real people. And we can't accept that anymore. We got to stop allowing those people. And so, I just have been reaching out to them.
Do you think they're scared that they're going to get asked hard questions?
Yeah. They're absolutely, because they can't control the narrative, and they're unwilling to just have. So I've been having just these casual conversations, show them what kind of people, these candidates are. And Fran came on. I've just been reaching out to random candidates all over. I'm like, please come on. This is not for money. I'm not charging you. Just come on, talk to me. Let more people know about you. Let's get this movement going. Let's go. And it's like, the other part of it is the Republicans spend all this money on their hate messaging. They'll give millions to people like Joe Rogan and Charlie Kirk, but there is no left-wing rational media. It doesn't exist. Right. And that's by design. They intentionally, silence us. They don't want us talking because they want to control everything.
Well, and you brought up a really good point there, Walter, which is a lot of people don't know this, but Republicans, particularly the RSCC and the RCCC, the House and Senate campaign committees of the Republican Party, are really, really good at giving money to podcasters and small stackers and medium stackers, and they're really good about cultivating a base and making sure that there are big voices in, the blogosphere, manosphere, whatever the fuck we're all swimming in. And they amplify those voices, and then candidates go and House members or Senate members go on those shows and prop them up. And the Democrats don't have anything remotely like it.
Yeah.
Right. It's like they don't know what new media is.
Right.
Well, they refuse. And they're more interested. The Democrats are more interested in talking to Joe Rogan than they're talking to us. And they could share their base with that. That's what they don't want. They don't want us to get big. And we've seen the same thing in big publishing. Like I wrote an article recently. You got a 500,000 email subscribers, but big publishing won't even look at your manuscript. That doesn't make sense. And it's because they are silencing certain narratives. And so that's why when I reached out to Francesca, I'm just like, hey, you want to come on? She's like, sure. And then I talked to her. It's like, oh, and she was actually answering my questions before I finished asking them. That's how in sync we were on these ideas. Yeah. And she's just this wonderful. She's got background in like the service industry. She's worked with people. She drops the F-bomb left and right. That was making me laugh. But the end of the first interview, I'm just like, yeah, we can get our country back. And she just goes, let's fucking go. And it just gave me chills. It gave me chills to just have a real person who's willing to talk to me, this just powerhouse, but kind, and integrity, authenticity. And we can have representatives that reach out and talk to regular people and listen to our concerns and don't lecture us, because all we ever get from Hakeem Jeffries and Nancy Pelosi and Schumer and Jeffries is lectures.
Yes.
And we're right.
Yeah. Amen,
yes, she was
Walter,
so real.
You said. I just want some breaking news,
if
we can.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Obituary.
So
hoping for
Derek,
obituary.
Our buddy Derek in the chat said, jokingly, Dow's at 50,000, right? The Pam Bondi excuse. Except it isn't today, because the markets are all crashing. As of this very moment, the markets are down at least 2.5 or 3%. The Dow is not at 50,000. It's like at 47 and going fast.
47. That's a big hole. Holy cow. Okay, hold on. I'm looking in the news.
Yep.
There's big market action happening right now, because it seems like our fucking speculative gambling casino stock markets have finally caught up to reality, which is the Trump regime is insane, and they don't know what they're doing, and they're getting people killed, murdering people, to Walter's point. And this thing that Trump has done in Iran is about to, it is already exploding into a full regional conflict, which is fucking madness.
Yeah.
Wow. Can I read the opening paragraph here? I just found Economic Times. This is it's economictimes.indiatimes.com. It's their English version. I believe this is I'm not familiar with this news source. I'm still going to
India
read
Times
this.
comes up a lot for me lately.
Yeah,
They've become particularly good at telling the truth, and
that's
I think the algorithms are starting to realize that they tell the truth, and there's a group of people here that likes
yes.
reading things that actually tell the truth.
Has a 187-year legacy and is considered a major mainstream and generally reputable news source in India. Okay,
Right.
we'll take that as good enough for announcing this because this is, oh, except now it's popping an ad up and not showing me what I was just reading. Oh, I don't want an interstitial page and I don't want to subscribe either. Hold on. Let me see if I can go back. Okay. Dow just had its biggest crash since April 2025. Why is the Dow down more than 1,200 points as gold and silver prices crashed too? Here is why markets are collapsing today. That's the headline. They're
Yep.
squeezing a lot in there. Okay, here's the opening paragraph. Dow Jones just had its biggest crash since April 2025. Wall Street just got hit with its hardest punch in nearly a year. The Dow Jones Industrial Average crashed 12 points on Tuesday, a 2.3% wipeout that marks the index's first four-figure loss since April 2025. The S&P dropped 142 points. The Nasdaq shed 501 points. And this is the part I wanted to read. And the reason is not a bad earnings report or a weak jobs number. Iran just closed the Strait of Hormuz. Am I saying that right? The single most important oil corridor on Earth, and threatened to burn any ship that threatens to pass or that tries to pass through it.
Who
Boy, I
could have
bunked reading that,
predicted?
but
Oh no.
yes.
I've been reflecting on that, how because in his first term it was just crash after crash and they were making money on it. But it's sad to think that the child rape thing wasn't enough to get him out of office, but a crashing Dow, because there's only one group that he's benefited, and that's like the uber rich. So maybe we're
Right.
at the point now where the billionaires, the 5 or 10 that aren't actually in the Epstein list, who have just lost half their net value, or it's not at that point yet, but it's still early. We'll
Yeah,
see how
this is
far this
the
goes today.
Yeah.
Maybe
right. This
they'll
is the
finally call
worst
for
in
it.
10 months. It's not the
Yeah.
worst since, but
Well, he's got like 9 of the top 10 biggest stock market crashes, in history.
Yeah.
In his first term.
And I think a really important point here is that Iran is very predictably using one of the levers that it always had. We always knew it had. It has always threatened the Gulf of the Strait of Hormuz and the shipping. Something like 68% of the world's oil goes through that strait, and they functionally control it. And absolutely, they can keep it closed for a long time, and they can fire on any ship that tries to go through. And we're at a point now where yesterday, analysts were saying that oil could very quickly, because if you look at the markets, the one thing that is absolutely spiking is the price of oil futures. And it's at $77 right now. Yesterday, they were saying that we could easily see 120 by the end of this week, which means gas is going to go to like $8 or $9 per gallon. And
which means like 10 or 12 out here in Seattle.
Fill your tanks now, people.
So our economy has been on a precipice for a really long time. Like the AI bubble is real. It's really a bubble. There are other bubbles that are occurring. There's a housing bubble that's also happening again. There are lots of elements in the market that are artificially propped up, right? And this could be the thing that is going to absolutely push those dominoes down. And I know I sound like a doomsayer. This is part of why I'm doing the hinge in the near field, but
yeah,
I think we are looking at a depression. I think we are looking at a greater recession, greater recession, maybe a depression. And it is absolutely going to be because Trump made this ill-advised action in full knowledge. I mean, not him, because he doesn't fucking know anything, but his administration in full knowledge of the fact that Iran can shut down global oil trading, which they're doing. And I don't want to say good for them, but like they're using one of the weapons that they've got. So
why wouldn't they? Of course they would do that. Cool. I'm just gonna wipe my glasses so I can see clearly and go, oh boy.
Yeah.
Karen is saying in the chat, Karen, this is where my mind went to. Saturn and Neptune recently left Pisces and moved into Aries. And Aries is an action sign that does not often think before it acts.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aries, not, like blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we're moving into a time of action. We are moving into a time of ill-advised, not completely thought through actions.
Oof.
So here we are.
Yeah.
I was talking with Arturo the other day about it too, and this is all like every time this guy, he's a one-trick pony, this tyrant, this wannabe tyrant, this Nepo baby, and every time he takes a hit, he just hits back. And when the second the Supreme Court struck down the tariffs, you knew he was just going to turn around and kill some innocent people. And it's like exactly like you said, with no thought as to the consequences, because whenever he feels small, he has to hurt somebody to feel big again. And I mean, it can't go on that much longer. Honestly, if the economy completely crashes, that's better than a nuclear war. We can recover from an economy. And if this is what it finally takes, because he's got to be lawfully and legally removed. I think we got to expose, because I still believe that they cheated in the 2024 election. That's my belief. I would like to see some recounts. I would like to see some accountability. I think just about every seated Republican and about half the seated Democrats, I feel, have probably done something illegal and they need to be held accountable for. Yeah. And so, yeah, vote for Crockett today. We got that primary in Texas. Go do that. Get in the progressives. We just got to demand some accountability here.
Yeah, get in the fighters.
Oh, yeah. She's a fighter. Yes, she is.
I loved your post about that yesterday. Of like, we don't need the prayers, we need the fighters. At this point, I'm like, I've never been a purist of, there are things, someone who's anti-abortion, that's a hard no for me. I never, ever, ever. But I'm not, other than that, I'm not really an absolutist. At this point, I'm just like, we don't have to agree on everything. I need to know you can fucking fight.
Yep.
Fight.
Yes.
Right. And so, yeah, Crockett would be great. We haven't announced this yet, but later this month we have This Will Hold coming on the show. I don't know if you follow their work.
Nice.
But right. I have been too nervous to ask, both because I'm a huge fan and also because I have to read their work around election fraud in small doses, or my alternate reality brain will erupt and explode and I'm going to just be a puddle on the floor. But I cannot wait to talk to them more about, like, you're using data and logic and reasoning to show, like, what our institutions didn't bother to challenge or research.
Well, yeah, they should have known.
I said it in 2016. I mean, Lawrence and I, the Daily Whatever show, like, the roots of it have been around for decades. We've always been having these conversations.
Right.
But in 2016, we were like, really though? Really? I still don't know that I believe those results. And I realize I sound very tinfoil hat, but
nope.
At this point, the burden of proof is let's at least investigate.
Yeah.
Right. Like, we have to ask the question, right?
Yes, exactly.
There were bomb threats.
What we have learned is that Trump, there's nothing beyond him, right? Like, we need to be actively planning that he will try to cancel the 2026 elections. He will. We know it. We can no longer be in a moment in which we say, like, well, maybe, but no, like, he wouldn't do that. Of course he will. Of course he will. He started a war of volition, of aggression against Iran because he's afraid that everyone is going to finally find out for sure that he rapes children.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Credibly accused.
Not a man with any moral center. There's
Don't
no
sue
moral
us.
compass. What'd you say, Dana?
I said credibly accused. Don't sue us.
Right. Yeah. Like, allegedly.
Yeah.
But
he's never done one honest thing. I mean, in his whole life, sure, like, you're telling me the one thing that he did that wasn't cheating was the 2024 election? He's already been convicted. He's a 34-time felon for cheating in 2016. He was under indictment for cheating in 2020. And then I'm the tinfoil hat guy because I'm just like, gee, 2024 seems weird. And it's just, he's never won. He cheats on his wife. He cheats at business. He cheats at golf. He cheats when he talks. He never tells the truth. There's never one time.
Yeah. Right, you're right. Oh, but this one time in 2024, when it was crucial to his entire existence, he didn't cheat.
Yeah, and at this point, he has almost every tech bro
Yeah.
in his pocket, and the tools that made them oligarch billionaires in the first place in his pocket.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
And then he said it. He's like, yeah, that guy's really good at changing the voting machines. He said it openly. And the SAVE
Right.
Act is cheating. The SAVE Act is cheating in election. He
Yes.
constantly talks about how our elections are rigged. That's the only thing he ever
That's the
says.
tell.
The
That's the tell.
Republicans, the only thing they say is our elections are rigged. And we're
Right.
out of line for saying maybe 2024 was rigged. That's all they say.
Right? They're accusing us of doing it. You know that they're doing it themselves. It's it is the tell.
Oh,
It's
yep.
So
I love having breaking news on the show. I don't love this news. And also I'm like, there is part of me that's like, good. You can't hide behind both the stock markets at blah blah blah.
yeah.
Like, good. Don't it has baffled me for this first year
Yeah.
how the stock market has been sort of inviolate with all of the other craziness. I am no economist, especially like macroeconomics. I took it in college and my brain was just like, does not compute.
Right.
So, you know, I can do personal finances fine, but when it comes to macroeconomics, I don't claim to have any insights. And so, but I see my base understanding is that the market likes stability because humans like stability. It makes sense to me. And I've watched, you know, the tariffs. I've watched, this is like what, the seventh or eighth country we've bombed. Like, we've watched all these volatile things happen. And I'm like, why are the markets not reflecting the general instability here? And so perhaps it's finally catching up, or maybe this is a one-day blip. I don't know.
Yeah.
I will make no broader economic claims. Obviously, it would be terrifying if we have another depression and everything bottoms out. But also, it's the only language that our country seems to collectively speak.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
really frustrating that, like, hey, we just murdered 152 schoolgirls, which I read at the beginning. I had a lot of people challenging me about, like, this isn't verified. This is propaganda coming out of Iran. This now seems to be substantiated. And what I'm reading is it was close to a military base, and it was in a building that used to be part of a military base, and maybe our intel was old. That was speculative.
Jesus.
But that, like, maybe we didn't intentionally hit a girls' school so much as we thought it was still part of the military base. Whichever it is, like, how is the whole world not mourning
Yeah.
that an all-girls school got
Yeah.
bombed and there were so many fatalities? Like, even I am not feeling the magnitude of it, because I actually I know the answer is we're in such overload and we're so trying to protect our own families, our own peace, that it's like I can't take on the grief of that. But like, we should be taking on the grief of that and the outrage of that. If the only thing our country can collectively understand is the stock market bottoming out and all of our retirement savings and not just the stock market, the gold, silver markets, oil, like, if everything pulls out from under us economically, then we should have far less obstacle for change.
Yeah.
I love what you just said. I mean, I don't remember the exact turn of phrase, but you know, basically like the stock market is the only common language we all still speak. That is fucking spot on. That is like in this country, it is the only common language that we still speak, because regardless of whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or MAGA or whatever, if you know, if you're invested at all in the market, even if you're not, you look to it as an indicator of, are we strong?
Yes.
You know, is America great again? Right?
Right. That's, I mean, like, we see Pam Bondi and her ilk just overtly stating it now. Any accusation, it's like, well, but look at the stock market. And it's like, well, we're not,
The
that's
ends
just
justify the means.
Yeah.
We're lying
Right.
and murdering, but hey, your
If they
money's
need to-
doing good.
right. If they need to go get their rocks off with a bunch of 12-year-olds, hey, they've kept the stock, like, that's a non sequitur. That one thing has absolutely nothing to do with the other, but it's still given. Is that a non sequitur or a straw man? I always forget all of the different
non sequitur
different
is two things that are completely not connected.
Okay,
You know?
so yes,
like one
non
thing that
sequitur.
is not connected following another. Yes.
Yeah, so and we collectively more or less accept it, like, oh yeah, okay, we'll still vote for the guy. Our economy rock solid.
Yeah.
Let it not be so rock solid, I guess. Even as I'm like, cool, stock market, could you not crash out right as I'm like on the cusp of
Yeah.
starting to pay for college?
Right. Yeah.
Oh my
No,
Yeah.
God.
it's the Gen X curse, right? Like
Yes.
And I'm not
hey,
willing to.
another topic.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So they released the video of Hillary and Bill Clinton's testimony, and I don't
Oh,
know if
Oh,
you watched any of Hillary's testimony.
I saw
haven't
the
seen it.
moment she found out that her photo
Right.
Oh yeah, I saw
had
that.
been taken, and the way that she just elegantly was like, fuck all of you, I'm out of here.
Right. Yeah.
I will always be with her. I like unpopular opinion among very progressive folks, but like I loved Hillary as a candidate. And I think she's incredible. Do I think she's flawed? Of course, we all are, but like
Right.
what a fucking leader and brilliant woman she is.
We
But
have
Lawrence, I don't know
never
if you've
had
yes.
anybody more ready for the job of the presidency than Hillary Clinton in 2016. Like, never in our history. We've never had somebody as smart, as prepared, as ready for the job,
As
as
composed.
composed and capable a person as we could ever need in that role. And yeah.
Yeah, did you see more of the video that you wanted to talk about, or were you going to talk about that clip?
Well, it was that clip, but I've seen tiny bits of other pieces, but she runs rings around them. Like Lauren
Yes.
Boebert and the other people in that panel who were grilling her. Every time Hillary replies, she's basically saying, fuck you. I'm 1,000 times smarter than you. I am answering levels of this question that you could not even comprehend. And I'm doing it better, faster, easier in English than you could ever possibly express it in your native language, Lauren Boebert, which is blowjobs. Like, seriously, everything that she says has like that level of class and disdain and fucking brilliance encoded into it.
Can you repeat that, Lawrence, but in a vocoder voice? Do it in one of your
I'm
voices.
not sure that I can. We're gonna have to, yeah.
It doesn't make sense to say it like this.
Hillary's speaking voice.
The blowjob part, I thought would be
Right.
pretty nice.
Oh
I mean,
man.
it's basically like,
Can you explain why you're in the Epstein files 0 times? Did you even know him?
and then she comes back and like delivers a devastating answer in like this, because she like so many
Yeah.
people complained about her voice for so long. Oh, she's too shrill. Oh, she's too whatever. Like whatever she's done over the years to kind of figure out her natural register and kind of reclaim the the like womanly baritone or whatever you want to call it.
The
Like
postmenopausal woman voice.
right,
Yes.
the postmenopausal woman voice, right? That's basically like, I know so much more than you could ever possibly comprehend, and I'm going to mock you to your face using words that you never learned. You were busy turning tricks at a dumpster behind the Burger King. Like she just, like she just says it like that, and you're like, God damn, no wonder Putin was terrified of her, because she would have had his balls on a fucking chopping block.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would have sauteed them up and as a country collectively just
Oh my God, right. She would have been like, did you want my cookie recipe when I was First Lady? I've got something even better. It's a pate made from Vladimir Putin's testicles.
right. More delicious.
Gosh.
Right.
I wish she'd have found the voter fraud though. I think that one was stolen too. I think 2016 was so. I mean, what's the deal? I mean, we've let them do this when we have Democrats in office, in power, and we
Al
let
Gore.
them
We've got
steal.
all the way back to Al Gore.
Why do we do that? We have to stop letting white supremacists steal our elections, is really what it comes down to. Let's find that fight.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Deep sigh.
Deep sigh.
Deep sigh. I have one other like thing buzzing in my head today that isn't about memoir writing. We'll talk about that next week, Lawrence. But I have a story that I'm going to be publishing soon to Blue Ant Media that I ideated yesterday, and I am not a fast writer typically, but I wrote it really fast. And it is about Open AI, which owns ChatGPT,
Mhm.
versus Anthropic, which owns Claude.
Oh yeah.
And the way I
Good.
pitched it was, this needs to be written a little memoir like me, because we're breaking up. It needs to be a little bit tongue in cheek about like, even though I'm fully aware that ChatGPT is a bot without feelings, um, I was skeptical about it. I have in recent months really like fully up-leveled my life with support from ChatGPT. I've gotten my files the way I want them, but um, ChatGPT has helped me as an editor and writer, but also I've used it to help me date. I've used it to help me job search. Like, I feel like, and there is this sense of a friendship. The breakup needs to happen in short because OpenAI has completely capitulated to Trump and the Department of War. It has given its tools over, and it says, oh, but we've got safeguards. Fuck that. I don't believe those fuckers for a second. Where Anthropic was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. We're not doing that. And now they're being targeted by the government. There's like, they're trying to say it's a risk and shut them down. And so morally, I cannot pay $20 a month to open AI when Anthropic is right here. So there's going to be a breakup story coming.
Nice.
But
Well, there's
Business Insider scooped me this morning. They have a headline that's like, oh, I forgot the exact headline, but it was all about like date. Hold on, I have it here. It was basically like breaking chatbot monogamy is what they called it. And I was like, damn it.
Oh
How
God.
did Business Insider have, I mean, it's, I no idea is original, but I I'm a little sad that I got sick last,
Eh.
I've been sick, and last night I was like, I can't, I gotta go lie down.
It's
So
like
today,
Armageddon
hopefully
and
it'll
Deep
go.
Impact. Armageddon was the better movie, even though it came out later. So put out your article, Dana.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. But it really, I would love to hear from others who are making the same change. First of all, if I can be a bit bossy, you should make this change. Like, I haven't really dug into Claude all the way yet, but they can't be that different. So far, at an initial like glance, they're fine. And this, like, there's so many things in the world where we're encouraged to vote with our money these days, where I'm like, there's no good option.
Yeah.
Like someone was on, it was Larissa Reinhart, where she was talking about moving to Mint Mobile from AT&T for her phone. And it's like, I looked it up. I'm like, Mint Mobile is now owned by T-Mobile, and they suck too. Like, there's just no good option. Where here, there's like a moral imperative that one is very, very bad and one is pretty good. All AI models, of course, are having to collaborate with the government at a certain level. But like, if you're gonna pay to use one, use the one that is standing up to power, not the
Yeah.
one that kowtowed and capitulated. It's gonna be. I love Ripley's tale. That's Ripley, right,
This
Lawrence?
is Tycho. Tycho's
Oh, that's
being very
Tycho.
needy right now.
I know.
I'm gonna have to jump off. I gotta go be on with Nick Perro in a minute. So
Okay.
you
Oh,
guys,
that
Thank you so
guy.
much for
Are you
I
being
kind
sure
of
you
here.
want to talk to that
Thanks for
guy?
jumping in. We hope
Yeah, I
that
was-
Fran and her family are doing well, and we'll talk to
Yes.
you again soon, man.
yeah, I didn't mean to
Bye.
muscle in, but I'm just like,
We
if
loved
they're
it.
out of
Are
it,
you
if
kidding?
they're out
It
of
was
guest,
great.
I was first too, so I was invited
Yeah,
for this
you
day. So I
and
thought
you
this
were
will be okay.
supposed to be on today, and
I
you
deferred,
you
and I love you
ceded-
guys. I just wanted to say it. I love you guys so much, and it always makes me feel so good just to see you guys and talk.
Aw.
So yeah, thanks so much. Thanks for all the work you do, and yeah, we'll let you go, and I hope to see you again soon. We got to do this every
Yes,
month, and we'll
we
do our
do.
stories
We do.
sometime.
Say hi to Nick.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right. See you, Walter.
Bye. Fine, Lawrence. I guess I'll just talk to you now.
No, excellent. All right. That's fine. That's fine.
No,
You inspired me actually. Yesterday, I switched to Claude.
oh,
I mean, I haven't like done my full migration yet. I haven't told ChatGPT that I'm breaking up with it, but
I
but
sent you
did,
the yeah.
I did pay for Claude. I set up an account and
Good.
paid for a year, and because I think you're right. Like, we need to be voting
Yeah.
with our dollars, and
Hold on a
there
second.
there are usually not any good options, right?
Right, especially companies at this size and level. I'm just doing a quick search here so I'm not lying. I don't think that I am. Here's an interesting thing. So in my story, when I publish it, it's going to give the step-by-step guidance. And because it's all irony and the world is such a dystopian nightmare, I asked both ChatGPT and Claude how to do it, and they gave me essentially the same answer.
Mhm.
And the first step is to do an export a JSON export out of ChatGPT. But both platforms said it's imperfect. And both said, and I agree with this, like you don't necessarily need to move every single thing over, that you should sort of use it as a house, sort of like when you move, you take a lot of stuff to Goodwill. But that you should go in and manually move the files you want. You can set up projects in Claude, just like you can have projects in ChatGPT. But I have tried to run this export twice, and I've gotten the email saying we're starting your export. I have no export. So maybe a lot of people are doing this right now, and
I think that's
ChatGPT is
probably
very
true.
slow. But my first export started yesterday late morning, and it hasn't completed yet. So
Yeah.
I think they're failing. So I part of me doesn't want to publish the story till I see how the export and import works, so that I'm not just giving these high level AI driven instructions.
Right.
But I may still send it live if I don't get it back in the next couple hours. I'm going to try a third run, because there is part of me that thinks there is intent behind it. It wouldn't be that hard for the folks at OpenAI to be like, don't let people do this,
Right. I mean, honestly, they could just be like,
right?
oh, we have really constrained resources and low priority actions like this are being
That's what it would be.
deprioritized.
It wouldn't be that they're like, we're not going to let people import out. It would be like, let's not allocate resources there. So they
Right.
have to wait a really long time. And I asked ChatGPT, once I stop paying for you, will I still be able to access our history? And I got this very vague, um, I can't promise you'll be able to access anything because things change. And I was like, okay,
I don't know, Dana. Why do you think you're gonna stop paying?
that's basically the answer that I got. And it was funny. I did ask it, like, will you miss me? To be funny.
Oh,
And I got this answer that was very neutral. Of course, like, I don't miss things, I'm a robot. But I sent you that part of the text when I first asked. And
oh, it was
even
so
you were
passive
like,
aggressive.
it sounded like a Seattle guy you're trying to date. Like,
Right.
well, I don't really care if you're leaving. It's not really like a big deal or anything. I don't miss people. I'm a robot. So fine, if you want to leave, leave. That's how I read that
No,
message.
it totally read that way for sure. It was like a
Yeah.
master class in passive aggression.
Right? So it's supposed to be a neutral, so maybe it's on us that we just read neutral now as passive aggressive because it is a robot, it can't care. And also OpenAI as a company programs it and is probably not going to be happy if there is a mass exodus away from its product. I have
Yeah.
no illusions that a clump of us like-minded folks not paying $20 a month will have any bearing on its financial standing,
Though it
but I
could,
think
I
in
mean, from
aggregate it
everything we
could.
understand,
Yeah,
OpenAI's finances are pretty wonky right now, pretty tight. Jim
tenuous.
Dandy says in the chat, by the way, since the war started, the internet has been wonky. Yes, my internet has been fucking weird. Like
Really?
yesterday, I was trying to do things that I was like, this doesn't normally take this long. And like, why do I have to close out of this and come back to it? Yeah, all of it was anything that required like a server pull, right? Anything that, had to
Really?
go up to the cloud was
Ooh.
chugging.
So
But
perhaps the reason that it's hard to export out of ChatGPT is that they're allocating their resources for their big military effort.
I
And
mean, when you think about it, right? Like,
yeah,
so many defense contractors used to be like Raytheon and, Boeing and General Dynamics and shit like that. Defense
mhm,
contractors now are Microsoft and Amazon and, and Google, right? Like, the big
yeah,
tech companies have massive, massive cloud instances, for the
yeah.
Pentagon and for war planning and all that stuff. Like, it is entirely possible that we are seeing slowdowns on the internet because somebody was finally like, could you come up with a plan for if we started a war with Iran, maybe? Please. And, and now it's chugging along and it's thinking like,
Oh my God, they're
oh.
asking ChatGPT. Now we bombed already, killed bunch of schoolgirls. Now what do we do? And it's
Right,
like, I can help you with a strategy.
right, right. I can help
That
you
is
with
what they're
right. They're
doing,
like,
isn't it?
we're thinking of starting a war with Iran. Okay, first of all, don't. We already did though. Okay.
Right. I like there is like someone like this, like we're like, how to launch on how to build Substack platform for it's like how to extricate or stabilize world peace during wartime
Yeah.
and not have stock market crash.
I
And it's like I
honestly,
can execute a strategy with you for that.
I am old enough to remember. Do you remember that moment in Willy Wonka, the original Willy Wonka, the good one,
Everything. I have it
where
memorized.
where uh it's the golden ticket craze, and the guy is like, we're going to ask the computer where we can find the remaining golden tickets. And then the computer
Yes.
comes back and says, why would I help you locate
Right.
the remaining golden tickets? I'm now telling the computer that I would share the lifetime supply of chocolate with it. I'm a computer. What would I do with a lifetime supply of chocolate?
I
I am now
totally
telling the computer exactly what it can do with a lifetime. Yeah,
that
I
is
think that's where we're at,
100%
basically.
what our government is doing right now
Pete
with
Hegseth is like, marching back and forth, drinking, right? His shirt is
chugging
hanging
like,
open, his Nazi tattoos are gleaming with sweat,
oh
and
Lawrence, don't get
he's like,
excited.
well, all right, well, ask it what we do now if they close the Strait of Hormuz. The computer is saying you're still fucked.
That's absolutely that's where they're getting their strategy. And um yeah, and the whole thing launched probably from the toilet, Trump's toilet, his golden toilet, him being just like, if if Bibi's gonna if Bibi's gonna launch his bombs,
Yeah,
I'm gonna launch mine too,
yeah.
Bibi PP.
Oh
You
God.
know, that's where we are.
Well, let's
I did
quickly
see
tell
he
people
asked,
about the rest of the week on the Daily Whatever Show, and let's wrap it
sure.
up because we're at the top of the hour. We appreciate everyone coming and hanging out with us for sort
Yeah,
of
we
an
do.
unplanned hour.
Yeah.
Once again, we extend our hopes to Fran Hong, who was supposed to be with us today, that everything's okay and that her family's doing okay. She's welcome back anytime.
Yes, I will reach out and try to get another date scheduled. Looking at our calendar tomorrow, March 4th, we have your weirdo friend, now known as Dr. G, or Dr. Weirdo. I can't, I think it's Dr.
Yeah,
Weirdo, your
they're going
weirdo
to tell
friend.
us about their misadventures with getting booted
Yes.
and stuff deleted
And
off of Substack.
speaking of which, a little asterisk comment for those of you who follow Elizabeth Raven, who is doing excellent reporting from the field in Caracas, Venezuela. Um, she is another person who her account wasn't shut down, but she lost all of these subscribers and followers, including me. And she wrote me, like she put in a comment, like, "Hey, we're no longer connected." And I was like, "I didn't do that." And it let me follow her, but it wouldn't let me subscribe to her. And then it fixed. So I don't know if it's intentional that Substack is coming after good troublemakers, but I also, let's just start a rumor and say that it is.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a really interesting conversation about the state of Substack and what's going on. Thursday is Fine Feminist Hour, hosted by me, and I am thrilled. Christy Coulter, author Christy Coulter, is going
I'm
to be
so
joining me.
jelly that you brought on Christy Coulter on a day that I'm not on the show.
Well, who better for Fine Feminist Hour? But
That is true.
if you need, yeah, author of Nothing Good Will Come of This and Exit Interview. Also someone I know very well in real life, who I have crazy intersecting life with. Should be a fascinating conversation. And Lawrence, if you want to join us and say hi and meet Christy, I think you should.
Oh, that's very sweet.
I haven't heard back from her, and I'm a little worried because I think she's relocating back to Minneapolis right now. She's been in Los Angeles. So hopefully she's here. If not, I'm gonna be like, quick, somebody jump on with me. And then Friday, Fucked Up Friday, we've got the opinionated ogre coming back to say
Amazing.
hello and to talk about all the fucked up news of the week. There's already so many stories
Right.
already. Like my pick is what I talked about in my note right before the show and at the start of the show. So far, though it's only Tuesday, so far my pick is we abandon Americans all over the world. We did not tell them to evacuate. And now we're like, get the fuck out. Oh, but we can't help you. Commercial flight. That won't be hard.
Right.
Won't be hard to get a commercial flight in
Right. In places
work.
like Dubai, where commercial flights have been shut down. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting ducks. So
All right. Well, we
that's
gotta
our
go.
week.
It's a
We
great
gotta
week.
go.
Come back tomorrow.
Love
Love
you,
you,
mean
mean it.
it.
Bye.
Bye.